for me. Run through the land, you run through my soul. Bring me wisdom and peace. Run through all ages and all of life's stages. You bring me around to find my release.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have an encore appearance by Kathleen Quinton. Welcome back, Kathleen.
Thank you.
She is a children's author, and she has now written her second book, Barnabas Rides in Style. Now, her first one was The Big Move to Ronyville. Okay, this was we talked the last time she was on. Now she has Barnabas the dog. He rides in style. And who does your... You told me, but who does the front covers to these?
I have an illustrator. The illustrator actually has done the covers, and his name is Musam, and he lives in India, and I'm very fortunate to have found him.
How did you find him? India?
I found him online. I Googled illustrators, and we worked together on the first book, and now I'm just kind of crazy about working with him. He's actually hard at work with my third book right now.
When is that going to be out?
You know, I'll tell you it'll be out in April, and it won't be out till June, so I'm not quite sure, but
Let us know for
Thank
sure.
you.
Now, Barnabas the Style, when did this one come out, the second one?
That one came out in November.
Okay. I love the covers. I mean, you self-publish, too.
I self-publish, yes.
Have you been over to the Enchanted Passages bookstore yet?
I
I need
haven't.
to talk to you. I mean, really. That
Okay,
is devoted
I need to go.
mostly to children's. They do a beautiful job. But they have it's like an old 1800s house, and you go all, and it caters to just about all ages. Oh, you would love it.
I already love it. I love historic.
I will key you in. There's a lot
Wonderful.
of places. I'm going to get her out there. So, Quint the Mobile. It's based on Quint the dog. He rides in style. What gave you the idea to do this as the follow-up, the Save Doggy?
Okay, so just to, if I may hold the first book. The first book is The Adventures of Quint the Bookmobile.
Yeah.
And this is an introduction to bookmobiles. And I don't know if you remember from last year that my husband and son's business in Worcester manufactures bookmobiles.
There you go.
So when I was a young mom raising my children, we would have bookmobiles in our driveway because my husband would test drive them, make sure things were fine.
Yeah.
And when I was much younger, a child in Framingham growing up, we had a bookmobile in town that used to come to the corner, and I just romanticized it. It was the most exciting day of the week for me, running to the bookmobile, seeing my friends there, and meeting the librarians. I loved it.
Yeah.
I never got over it. And then my husband manufactures them.
Do you have to have a library card to use a bookmobile?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's a traveling library. It's a traveling library, and back in the day, I mean, traveling libraries have been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I mean, they started this way.
There you go. That's how it started.
And they're still throughout the world. You can still find traveling libraries like this, camels and elephants. Long story short, getting back to Barnabas. Now, Barnabas, this is the big move to Ronyville, where Quint the Bookmobile is leaving the big red shop.
Yep.
And he's leaving his best friend Barnabas, the dog that went to the shop every single day. And so the first book is about getting courageous and going out of your comfort zone and moving out and you know, serving your purpose, getting books to everyone everywhere. That's what the librarian's doing. That's what Quint the Bookmobile's doing. And then Barnabas missed them and wanted to do it so much that in book number 2, Barnabas rides in style. And the children love him.
Yep. When you give a presentation, do you have a stuffed dog that looks like Barnabas?
It's in the works. It's a thought to have a stuffed Quint and a stuffed Barnabas. It's in the works.
And also, if you could...
Good idea.
Find, let's work it out. that car, that bookmobile?
Yeah, I'd like a little stuffy one. I wanted to have a hard one first that the little kids can just roll around the room. But I've been hearing from children that they even will stuff, they'll cuddle with a little bookmobile too.
I don't think you have your picture in here.
I don't have my picture in any of my books as of yet. Maybe someday.
Yeah, well, you need to
when I get to be known, I'll put my picture out there.
But that's how people can get to know you too. Oh yeah, I saw her. She was there today.
Okay, another good idea. You're just rolling with them.
Now, where have you been appearing? Where are you going to appear next? Do you know?
I don't. I
Oh.
don't. I just started coming out today. Is
Yeah.
my first day into really introducing the book.
Yeah. Now, you said there's another one, the third one coming out. So this is going to be a continued saga.
Well, I know for sure there's going to be 3. The goal was to do 3, introduce bookmobiles, get the word back out there. Of course, in Massachusetts, we're very proactive, and our towns have bookmobiles. And there are like 900 bookmobiles in the country, so they're well loved. And people still, need to get books. We need to still get it out there. We still need our children and senior citizens and people that have a hard time getting to the library
Sure.
to have access to books this way.
I know that Upton, I don't think we have a mobile. It's a smaller town, but at the senior center, I think that they bring some books over maybe, I don't know, once a month, once a week, something like that.
They do. I heard that. I spoke to your librarians,
Oh, good.
and
Yeah.
they do that, and that is incredible.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, you go into the senior center here and they've got a whole, I don't know, bookcase full of stuff.
Right.
It's nice.
It's
really
fun. It's exciting.
It is.
It's variety, and it opens you up. And what it does for children, we all know. If a child is read to, and gets to learn about the world through the written word, it's just phenomenal.
Too many of them are like this with their little,
Yeah.
people say, why don't you get a, what's it called? The,
iPad.
yeah, the Kindle thing.
Yeah.
I said, I don't want it. I want to hold the book and read it.
A lot of people feel that way. Most people feel that way. I have a Kindle as well because if I want a book real quick, but I love to hold a book, as you can see. I love it.
The way it's designed. You were indeed very lucky the way this guy illustrates these books. And you said your husband has a company that makes.
He manufactures bookmobiles. He has a truck company, and my son, and they manufacture bookmobiles and customized vehicles. They'll manufacture and they fix vehicles.
Yeah.
So
you've had them parked in your driveway through the years.
When I was raising my children, we'd go out in the bookmobile, have conversations, and test drive it, and my husband would drive it. We lived in Marlborough, so he'd drive it home from Worcester to make sure everything was in working order.
Yeah.
And it just was another piece of the puzzle. He was so proud of giving these wonderful manufacturing these. He didn't give them, but selling these bookmobiles to different states throughout the country. It was a source of pride, and then he'd hear the stories back about how these towns just grew and the passion people have for this and books.
Yeah,
it's just nice to be a part of it.
When you went into the bookmobiles, how did the librarians pack them with the books, or did your husband put the books
The
in?
librarians do.
They do that.
I mean, they're professionals.
And they do that in Marlborough, right?
They do it not in Marlborough, but I know Worcester has, I want to say 3. I know they have 2 bookmobiles. I want to say 3. I could be wrong there, and they name them, which I love. Probably gave me the idea to name Quinton the
I've never even seen
bookmobile.
one, and I lived in Worcester for a couple of years.
I know they have one named Libby. I don't know what the other one is. And then Framingham is now, when I grew up, it was a town. When my husband grew up, we both grew up in Framingham. We both had bookmobiles driving around the town when we grew up.
Yeah.
And they're a city now, and
Yes.
they just launched their bookmobile about a year ago. They have a very nice, I love the design because we do it to their specs,
Right.
and it's very cute. So nice to have one. It was a full circle moment for us to have a bookmobile in Framingham. Again.
It's it's a city, as you say now,
Right.
and then you've got Worcester. I can see where they would need 3.
And there's towns all around that, Massachusetts we're big on education. We're big on getting books out there to everyone, everywhere. And that's what Miss Morris, the librarian, that's Miss Morris, the librarian, and her big motto in the books are, we need to get books to everyone, everywhere,
Give us a brief rundown of what it's about.
Okay, well, Barnabas Rides in Style, we find that they have to go back to the big red shop to have the bookmobile. They're going to have the battery checked on the bookmobile. And Barnabas has been glum. He's been very sad. He's just, they don't know what to do with him, and they didn't know why he was so sad at the big red shop.
Yeah.
Well, it was because Quint moved did the big move to the big town of Ronyville. So when they got together again, Barnabas just was jumping all over the place and was excited to be. And Miss Morris had an idea. Well, let me take Barnabas along on a ride and introduce him to the kids and see how it works out. And that's what they did.
And that's what they did.
So all the books have little themes, Jan.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do.
this is friendship and how to. There's even little, how to solve problems in there, and this one's doing your mission. So there's kindness and
It
all
smells
little.
wonderful.
Smells new.
Love
It's
to
paper.
smell the new book. I have a friend who said to me one time, she said, "You smell any good books lately?" That's what I do. Remember when we were in school? Was it the mimeograph machine?
Yeah.
I know that sounds ancient, but
But I do know what you're talking
the
about.
kids would hold it up, it was, and they'd come out. You could almost smudge it. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
When did they go out of style?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, now we've got printers.
I'm so into the computer and. The
Do you do this on the
technology.
computer, or do you write by hand?
I do it on the computer for sure, but I do print it out and then write by hand to take notes. And I'm like you. I want the hard copies.
Yeah.
So I will print out each page and look at it and edit it and correct it. Of course, I have editors. Thank goodness I have a team of people that work with me and help me, because that's what you need when you self-edit.
Yeah.
You self-publish. It's not easy.
No.
So you do need people that know what they're doing.
Yeah, she sent me a copy. It also comes in paperback.
Yes.
Okay, so they can get either one.
Yes.
How can they get a hold of your book?
The books can be purchased almost everywhere now online. I was very excited when the first book came out. You could purchase this book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Once Barnabas Rides in Style came out, all of a sudden it's at Target and Walmart and Books A Million and the big bookstores and the big stores have it now, which is exciting for me. It's another step.
Yeah.
It's another step to get out there.
Is it in Tatnuck?
It's this one is.
Yeah, the first one.
I don't know if the second one is.
It's been a while since you were there, right?
Right.
Okay, get back there again, because they have an awfully good children's section. So does Barnes and Noble.
Oh, I love them.
Tatnuck is so close.
I love Tatnuck.
When you walk
And I
in,
love Barnes & Noble.
they're trying to hook us girls in, because they've got all those bling bling jewelry.
And the bling bling jewelry is so nice,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
clothing is so nice, and the little cafe is nice. So it's go there for the day and enjoy yourself. And the manager's fantastic. So I need to. You're right. I need to get back to Tatnuck.
And in the back of Tatnuck, they have the easy chairs.
Mm-hmm.
You can just sit quietly, do whatever. They took those chairs out of Barnes and Noble. I'm wise to them. We used to be able to sit there with stacks of books.
Right.
I think they figured, well, if they're going to just sit there and read it, they're not buying it. So now you got to go over to the Starbucks cafe at Barnes and Noble and just sit there and look what you want to buy.
Okay.
I'm thinking, damn it. I've sat on the floor. When I found this out, I said, you're not going to screw my way up. So I sat on the floor at Barnes and Noble and read.
And you're going to have fun.
I wasn't the only one. I saw a couple of college kids down the way doing it too. I don't care. You've got to have chairs in a bookstore.
I agree. I didn't know they took them out, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, all
I had
of them.
no
They used to have them
idea.
like in those little square. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why would you do? Because probably people weren't buying them. Now, also, Kathy's very talented. Besides being a children's author, she is a coach. Tell us about that.
Oh, I'm a life coach. Thank you for bringing that up. My business name is Quintessential Coaching. Of course, I take on my last name, which is Quinton, and Quint the Bookmobile. You'll see a connection, everyone, with the name. And I'm a life coach. I help to empower people and help them get unstuck and move on with their life. And I became a life coach about 5 years ago and became interested in coaching forever. I realized that's what I love. I love when I'm working with people and we're putting our minds together. And
How's that going? Are you giving presentations?
I'm not giving presentations. I do some small workshops. I have some coaching clients. I coach one-on-one as well. And I coach also at a wonderful little wellness center in Hudson called Synergy Wellness.
Oh, yes, I've connected with them. I have an author who wants to speak there. She wrote one of those very positive type of happy books to help people through crisis, divorce, and things like that. Interesting you should mention that. I had seen them online, Synergy.
The owner's name, the owner is fantastic. Her name is Michelle Grasso. She has the mission to get out there and heal people that have been hurt and burnt out and need to be empowered as well. I mean, there's so many layers for us to feel better about ourselves and be empowered. I love the emotional part. I love to... I do believe everyone's good enough. I do believe everyone's capable, and I do believe people can live the life of their dreams. I believe that, and we need to tweak things this way or that way. And Michelle Grasso believes that in such a way that she created a wellness center, and she brings all kinds of healing modalities to her center.
Meditation, I think.
Meditation and yoga and massage and
that's the one
tarot readings and all kinds of fun stuff. All of the wellness stuff, all of the cool things that you can do to feel better about yourself.
You would be great at, have you ever spoken, this may sound off, but at senior centers, they're going to appreciate it.
I've heard
people are
that.
starting again. They retire. What's that? Maybe 65, 70, and now they're ready to go on to something else.
I hope people aren't retiring at 65. I mean, if you
crazy.
retire, fine, retire, but go do something else because you're young and it's another chapter and another exciting time.
I know someone would think I'm nuts to suggest it, but a lot of them they're entrepreneurs at heart, and now it's time to start off.
Well, I have a girlfriend. She works at the Library of Congress. She's a writer and also an analyst. And she has said the same thing to me, that you should get out and go to senior centers. I think she thought of it because her mother's in one. And she was thinking, that would be wonderful to bring your books there, or to in the coaching aspect, obviously with the children's books. This is funny. People ask me, why children's books if you're a life coach? Well, a life coach or a coach or someone, you know why, right?
You get in touch with the child inside of you. A lot of us never lost it.
Right.
And it keeps you going.
But also, I would love the children's eyes to be opened.
Yeah.
This is, again, courage and a mission and a purpose. And it's also, there's questions on the back of each book that the parents can read and help with comprehension. And it's just, it has children thinking in a different way. They'll think about their purpose and courage. And, they may make mistakes and they may be afraid. And Quint's afraid just like them, but he still does it. And he doesn't have to be perfect.
Did Barnabas end up feeling better? This is getting the kids to say,
you want me to tell you? I'll tell you, because the kids aren't watching this, the parents are. Yes, Barnabas starts feeling better when he gets back with Quinton and has something to do that's exciting. And he's part of the team. He's getting books to everyone, everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's the question page of...
right in the back.
The question page. And the books are geared for 4 to 8-year-olds, and I do think that it's a little educational and I hope a lot fun.
Yeah.
So there is, when you have the 8-year-olds, that maybe there's also hidden images in each book. The first book, there's keys.
Yep.
The second book, there's bones. And I try to layer it and make it interactive for the children. As they get older, they can do the questions.
I love the way you made everything, enlarged. I love that. Because sometimes children will get discouraged. I think I did when I was learning to read, and I could see it, but it looked overwhelming if a page was like this with too much regular small print.
Right.
When you're younger, it's like, oh wow, cool, I can read it like this to mom and dad and that type of. You did really well.
Thank you.
Colors are gorgeous. You must be so surprised when you get it from your illustrator.
I get surprised when I order my author copy.
Yeah.
And it comes in, and it's a wonderful feeling. It's an exciting feeling.
Now, Kathy, how can people reach you about the coaching?
I have a website, and it's my business is called Quintessential Coaching, and the website is www.quintessentialcoaching.com, and there's a hyphen in between quintessential coach and coaching.
Okay.
So,
do you go to the client or do they come to you?
They come to me, and I Skype, and I'll go to Synergy Wellness.
Okay.
So if they're in the Hudson area and they would love to meet me,
Sure.
I can go to Synergy Wellness and coach them. But I also have certain clients in my home. I have an office that I can work with them.
Yeah.
And we do a lot, and I'm in Marlboro.
Good
we do
central
a lot
location.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
I do.
And I do a lot of Skyping with clients, and a lot of people really enjoy that. And we can get a lot done.
Also, there's a few maybe a couple libraries around here. I'll meet a client with because upstairs or something they have a quiet place that I've noticed over the years. Nobody cares if you're in there talking quietly. That's where I meet a lot of people too. So
Libraries are great. I always suggest that to clients if they want to get together and even have a board meeting. And Tadnick is speaking of something local.
Yes, yeah.
But throughout, Massachusetts, libraries are great meeting spots. They could use a little bit of rent money if you could give them a donation for using their space, and they never charge. They never charge hardly anything. It's so worth it, and it's a good give back. It's a win-win for everyone.
I know where she needs to go, to the Enchanted Passage over here in Sutton.
Okay, well, I'm going to go there. I'm going to have to find out a little bit more about that.
You are a shoo-in with the children's book. Like I said, I think it used to be, in the old days, an old house for boys maybe who had emotional problems.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened after that, but she's got this huge dragon out front.
How cute.
Yeah, he's a big blow-up dragon, I think, and he's out front. You can't miss it once you get on that road.
Very cute.
You got to meet her. I think her name is Kim. Yeah, and I think you'd love it. It's just like you can go on and on through the little. It's an old house. I think you'd love it. So that's one place.
Well, thank you. It's a great idea. And getting back to our seniors a little bit, because you did make me a little interested and think of something. They have so much to share.
Yeah.
They have so much that they could give back without stress now, because they're not worrying about, hopefully they're not worrying about their wallets as much as they had to in life, and they can get out there and give talks about what they know about, and visit schools and write books and do what they really always wanted to do, which is fun.
Now you have a son who's working with your husband.
I have a son working with my husband. His last name is Quinton. He's called Quint, my son.
Yeah.
I have a daughter that's teaching in Vermont.
Yeah.
And her last name is Morrissey. She's a take on Miss Morris. And I have another daughter that lives in Berlin, and her last name is Tremelling, Allison Tremelling. And she was doing marketing for the 4-H Club. Right now she's consulting.
Yeah.
And the name of the library in the books is Tremel Library.
Yeah.
So I have shortened their names, and I have my family in the books and friends, and real. There's a lot of real life in these books.
You've incorporated it.
Yeah.
Now, let's see, their children, your youngest is how old?
My youngest is 37. My kids are all grown. I have 6 grandchildren. My grandchildren are all in this book.
Do you sit down and read it with them?
Yes, I do. If they'll let me. Yeah, they do. But the last one I saw, my 7-year-old granddaughter picked up that book at my house and just went at Christmas time, went and sat quietly on the couch, went through it all, the entire book, and put it back up on the mantle. That one, because it was the new one.
Now, you might be appearing, let's see, we don't know. You have gone downstairs here at the Upton Town Library, and you've gone down there and showed them your book again.
Yes.
You talked with the children's librarian?
Today?
Yeah.
When we're done, I'm actually going down and speaking to the director, I guess, of the library,
Yeah,
and
there'll
see
be
if
a
they would
copy.
like me to do a reading. I would love to do a reading.
Sure, there'll be a copy downstairs in the Upton Library.
I hope you come by and check it out.
Definitely.
I'd love to hear your feedback. Send me an email also.
And again, how can they get your book?
They can get my book. It's online at Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Target, Books A Million, and more places than I ever expected. I'm very excited about that part of the second book coming out. I guess maybe the series is getting a little known. The first book, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon only, but now it's getting out there a bit.
What will the third one's title be?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I'm not being coy because it's going to be Super Science Fun Day for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to have a school name and then Super Science Fun Day. So I don't know how it will look.
Yeah.
Some things I get a little wordy. So I have to, then that's when I talk to the experts.
Well, you're natural to give presentations.
Because I get wordy.
No, you're not afraid to speak up. Right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. You can't be. You can't be at this age, right?
Now, all right, so she does both. She's a terrific children's author. She's a
Thank you.
coach, a life coach.
Which is my passion. I love that.
You don't have anything else other than that, right? You're concentrating on these two things.
I'm concentrating on these two things. Writing, I do write nonfiction, self-help book as well that I'm in the process of doing. So it's not just children that I write for, but my scope of interest is children and life coaching.
That's just so cool because now you just let the cat out of the bag that there's another book coming for life coaching, right?
Yes.
Okay, when will that be out?
That will be out in 2020.
That's this year.
I'll have 2 books out this year.
Oh, you're going to have to let us know about it.
Well, the third one of the Quint is written and done and already starting illustrations. That sounds like it's in the bag, but let me tell you, that takes time. You get down to the nitty-gritty when you're doing the illustrations.
Yeah.
And And then there's all the, get the Library of Congress number and your IPC and all the little things that no one thinks about that you have to put together when you're a self-published author by yourself. And then it will be out. So again, April, June, July, I'm afraid to promise. And the self-help book, the other book, my non-fiction book, will definitely be out this year, and I'm looking at the fall. But I know that I have a very strong goal with that one.
What's the title of that one? No, she's not going to give it away.
Not quite sure yet.
Well, we got to get her on for both. Her next one. This is the one. This is the second one. And Barnabas rides in style. It's about a bookmobile, and the dog goes with him. This now we're going to have to close. But one more time, how can they reach you to get the book?
In order to get the book, you can go online. You can Google The Adventures of Quint the Bookmobile or Quint the Bookmobile, Barnabas Rides in Style, and you will see it. It will appear on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the different outlets. And
They can get it in both softcover and hard.
Yes, yes.
That's just terrific. Well, you're going to get you back on because we know that she's got now 2 in the works. You let the cat out of the bag. Once they do that, I'm like, oh, good. We're going to have her back on again. Thanks for being with us.
Well, Happy New Year. Thanks so much. And here's hoping everyone has a wonderful New Year and decade ahead.
I hope it's better than the last one was.
That's right. I think it's going to be. I think this is going to be a good decade.
I hope so. We'll see you next time. I'll be my guest.